We're in Marfa, Texas. It's Chris, one half of the Mortal Machine podcast. I'm joined by Alyse from Opal Rugs. Alyse, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us in your wonderful studio. We got an all-star pup right here. And I want to jump right into this. You are a working Marfa artist. What is something that people do not know about being a living artist in Marfa, Texas?
Being a living artist, does that mean I'm alive? What does it mean?
You are so alive. I saw you at a restaurant last night, a coffee shop this morning.
I'm all over town.
You're all over town. You're very much alive.
Being a live living artist here in Marfa, most people don't know. I think a lot of people know that Marfa is an art town.
Yes.
It's a destination. They come here to see the Chinati Foundation, the Judd Foundation, all of that good art history. But what they don't know is that Marfa is actually a very affordable town.
Ooh.
That's what really shocked me. Having lived in NYC for 15 years, Santa Fe for 5, and then coming here, I was like, oh, I came for a residency, and I was like, yeah, right, this rent, I'll just look for fun. And then I found a place to live, and I was like, $800? Are they kidding me? The studio, $300? Are you kidding me? So that's kind of what, it's actually like, feels like you can be a living artist here.
So this was not your experience in other
Definitely
towns.
not. Definitely not.
But it had to be more than just, like what about this town made you even look up the rent cost in the first place?
Because I feel like the quality of life here is really great. I had literally zero intention or inkling or anything that I would ever live in the state of Texas. I was like, that place is, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
I was like, that place is fucked up. Never thought I would land here. I love New Mexico. That's kind of like the land of enchantment, the land of my dreams. But then
Land of great license plates, too.
Exactly. There's 3 colors to choose from.
Yeah.
And who can say no to turquoise?
Not me.
Not me.
And neither can any ant in the Pacific Northwest or Southwest
No.
or really no ant anywhere.
She needs the turquoise on her hands, her neck, and her license plate.
If you got an aunt and they got a birthday coming up or an anniversary or a Valentine's Day coming up, get them turquoise.
Get them turquoise.
Okay, so you're in New Mexico.
I love New Mexico. I want to be there in the future as well. But Santa Fe during the pandemic just really exploded. I think the population, it hasn't doubled, but a lot of people have moved there. And I had been renting from a friend, so it was like, oh, buddy deal, like this is a good rent to pay. And then when my friend sold that property and I had to move, I started looking at rents and I was like, $2,000?
Uh-oh.
Without a studio, like it just really, it's getting
That turquoise changes color a little bit.
Yeah,
when it's
everyone's
got
coming
2K.
for the turquoise.
Yeah.
They want their dollar bills to be turquoise. So then I came here and I was like, oh, just gonna be here for 3 months, do my residency, go back to the land of enchantment. But they have this wonderful thing called Marfa List.
Marfa List, which I have heard of and I have applied for.
You're gonna get in, I have a feeling.
Okay, cool. Well, tell the good people watching the Mortal Machine podcast what the Marfa List is.
So the Marfa List is like Craigslist for Marfa.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that means
It kind of makes dreams come true.
Like we're talking jobs, we're talking missed
jobs.
connections.
Sometimes there are missed connections, lost
Okay.
and found. Every time Boogie escapes our yard, he's posted on Marfa List within about 10 minutes.
And does Boogie have a Marfa List account?
He doesn't. We should get him one.
I bet he'll get into.
We could get you in, Boog.
So I get what you're saying about the loving, wanting to live in Marfa, being attracted to this, but also being skeptical of living in Texas. We have a very similar thing going on with New Orleans, Louisiana.
Sure,
People, I love Louisiana, but Louisiana has its problems,
Totally.
And New Orleans is not Louisiana.
Exactly.
It's just I feel like Marfa is not Texas.
It doesn't feel like it. It feels like, when you look at the voter map, it's like the big 3 cities are blue, and then far west Texas, our county. So it really does. And there's also, it's interesting because there's 2 people in town who run a nonprofit that helps people cross over to New Mexico to get abortion care. Like, that's how close we are to New Mexico. We're even closer to Mexico itself. And so yeah, it's like you're in Texas, but you find that most of the people in this town are like-minded.
Yeah, that's so fun. And Marfa, I mean, it really is a special place. And I feel like, again, similar to New Orleans, where people go there and then they feel connected to it.
Yeah.
And they want, for lack of a better phrase, they like want in. They want a piece of it.
Totally.
Which I'm sure is also can be problematic. But it can
Yeah.
also be inspiring. And, we see it all the time in New Orleans. People who are like, they go to New Orleans once a year for Jazz Fest, and they
Totally.
feel like they know the city.
Yeah.
I'm sure that happens a lot here because it's not that, I'm using air quotes, but it's like, it's not hard, air quotes, to see all of Marfa because it's so
Totally.
small, but I'm sure it's hard to feel like a part of it though.
Well, what's interesting is like the tourist economy is a really big thing here, and people prepare for it. Like the servers are like, I know it's a big weekend, or this is coming up this weekend. There's this many people in town for a wedding, etc. But the cool thing is I think why a lot of people want in is like you go to the coffee shop, you go to the restaurant, and the person who's like taking your order and interacting with you is 9 times out of 10 the owner. Or like they started that business, and that feels really good. It's like you want to be in a town. I want to be in a town where that sort of capitalist transaction is with someone I know. I'm like not buying shit from Amazon. I'm not buying stuff from we don't even have a Target to shop at. But it's like you go to these smaller stores because you want to support those people, and that I think is why people want in.
Yeah, let's be honest, it feels good to spend your money that way if you vote with
Totally.
your dollars in that way. And also, it also feels good to buy art, right? And that's one of the things that you do here. Like you are selling art. What is it like? Oh, we are talking into your art right now.
These are official Opal Rugs Valentine coasters.
Yes.
Because we have a Valentine holiday coming up. Which is funny because coincidentally, Valentine, Texas is about 35 minutes down the road, where you can see the Prada Marfa store. It should be called Prada Valentine, but I guess we're just not there yet.
Well, yeah. Well, Marfa just has more of the social.
Yeah, people recognize the name more.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I want to get back to Valentine and all that, but let's talk about you and what you make and what you sell and what that's like here in Marfa. Because
Totally.
you could be doing this anywhere? ?
Kind of, but I think I started Opal Rugs when I lived in New Mexico, and I have two stores there that I work with that I love. And then the rugs in Santa Fe were a little bit of a harder sell because people really want to nail the Santa Fe aesthetic. They want sheepskin, they want adobe walls, they want the Kiva fireplace. It's a very neutral palette and aesthetic. And here I've found in Texas, not Marfa specifically, but the people in Austin, they want the funky, weird coasters. They want the bright colors. And so when I travel and I go to these other towns around Texas, they're like, you're in Marfa? These are handmade in Marfa? It's just kind of, people love it. I think it's this.
I get it.
It's like this, it was this dream of Donald Judd to come here and be an artist and have all this space and coming from New York, you're like, oh my God, I can make whatever I want out here. And a part of that still feels really true because Marfa is so off the beaten path. We're 3 hours from any major city. And so people come here and they feel free. It's a really good feeling. And I think I would have never made stuff like this in New York. I was on a very academic fine art background working for big galleries who represented Judd. That was my kind of training. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, fuck it. I'm an elder millennial. I want to make coasters with hearts and cherries and olives for cocktail hour on them. It was just kind of a totally different. I feel like the pandemic really reset my brain in this way that feels open and free, and I can just make a lot more stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of that and the localness and just the small town vibes here, I saw you this morning at a coffee shop where you were restocking these at the coffee shop.
At the coffee shop,
because they had sold out of a certain color or whatever, and you're in there with your stack of coasters. You were restocking.
I travel with Coaster. Yeah, exactly. It's when you go to these stores and they have little things for sale. It's generally like all of that at that coffee shop specifically, like it's all handmade by people who live here, and like the ceramic cups they sell are by one of their staff members, like that sort of thing, where it's just this transparency of making, and it makes me feel like less of a capitalist when I know exactly who my money is benefiting and where it's going.
Yeah.
It's like, it almost feels like a trade economy, except we all still pay rent in dollars.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm a little bit new to the art world and on this side of things. People who've been listening to the podcast know that, the other half of the podcast, Gabe, he is the owner and curator at this really big, really well-known gallery in New Orleans. So
Yeah.
I've been learning more about the other side of this for the past year, this podcast existing. And but so maybe this is a little bit naive. I'm not sure, but I still feel like buying a piece of art from somebody is, one, it feels really good. I've always known it felt good as a purchaser of art.
Yeah.
But I've also seen the artists who are like I don't care how big you are, it still feels so good when a human is on the other side of the transaction.
Totally.
And I've just seen it happen enough times, or felt it, or heard about it, where I'm like, it's just so sweet, and I feel like that's happening all the time here.
Yeah, and it's like here, the only franchise business we have in Marfa is the Dairy Queen, which was my first job, so I will not knock it.
First job in real life?
Ever, yeah.
Ever.
Not the one here, but growing up in Michigan, I worked at the Dairy Queen.
Michigan? Wait, Michigan?
Yes. This,
Oh, it's the other hand?
yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess it depends. I don't know if
Where
it's
in
backwards
Michigan
in
were
the
you?
camera. I'm from the Metro Detroit area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you pointed, you used your other hand.
I know.
Okay.
It's this
Well,
way for the
anyway,
camera, I think.
we're pointing at our hands right now, putting our hands in the shape of Michigan for the audio listeners out there. Yeah, so you were saying there's no chains here.
Exactly. So it's like it's like when you buy something from someone here, it's just, I guess I already said this, but it's just really transparent. It's like you want to support these small businesses, and when the small businesses close, another one will pop up, which is really cool. Like even we recently got a new owner at the hardware store, and now it's like better than ever.
Shout out.
Yeah, so you don't have to go all the way to Alpine for lumber anymore.
Hey.
Very
Alpine,
exciting.
30 minutes away. Everything is like 30 minutes away because of the way that because this town exists for the trains.
Yeah.
The water stops on the trains. Am I getting this correct?
Yeah, so the train stop is in Alpine. So the train goes right through the middle of Marfa. It's never stopped, but they love to just honk the horn very loudly to remind us.
They're shouting
Don't
out
walk
Marfa.
here.
They're saying, don't walk here, but walk around here, buy art, buy food.
Yeah.
Being here is it really does feel like you're on another planet.
It's a very like I felt this way kind of in Santa Fe also, like when you're paying attention to the news. When I was in New York and I would listen to the news, I felt like it affected me so like dramatically. I was like, yes, I feel like I'm in the epicenter of this country. And then when you kind of step out of that, it's like I listen to the news and I'm still fully disturbed by it. But my everyday experiences are like the complete opposite of the horrors that I'm watching on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's fun when you can tap into the energy of a place, or you start to become the human version of the place that you're living.
Yeah.
It definitely happens in New Orleans in terms of like being celebratory and like partying, connecting. I feel like it happens here with regards to like I don't like nature, or just like slowing down, but like caring
It's
about art.
Total slower pace for sure.
Yeah.
And like there are some artists that live here that are like huge international artists, like their paintings are all already sold before their next show opens. They're selling them for millions of dollars. But those people aren't really in the community. Like you don't really bump into them on the sidewalk or like
I
at
won't
the
see them
coffee shop.
3 times in one day.
You won't see them 3 times in one day.
Okay.
They might live here part-time. There's a lot of part-timers in Marfa.
Yeah, and honestly, I get it. I get it
Yeah.
because you don't have tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, but it's like you're in on the city, the town. Maybe your heart's in the right place, but you don't have the guts to actually move everything here.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, they see it as an inconvenience. They're like, it's 3 hours from El Paso or Midland, Odessa. We're like 6.5 hours from Austin. You really got to want to get here. You're not just going to like drive through on some road trip, really. I mean, maybe, but it's hard to get here. And so I think that the people who come here and they do fall in love with it and they do move everything here, it's like, it's kind of this... Like, I'm an Aquarius. I just had my birthday, and there were like 5 other people in town with the same like week of birthdays.
Yes.
And I was like, I think this town attracts a certain type of person. Like, certain jobs attract a certain type of person, and it's just kind of, it's rewarding to find friends here because you all kind of have this like I'm going to do it. I'm going to start my own business. I want to do this. This is a service I want to provide. And being around that kind of person, other places I've lived, there are people like that, but they're like 1 in every 5 people. And here it feels like it's boiled down to like hardworking people who just really want to be making stuff and be sharing that. And it's
Love
cool.
that. Yeah, and also fair to say that the inconvenience of this town is sort of the point.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
That's what it seems like to me. Because people who know me, I've been yapping about Marfa for years. And I'm surprised at how many people that I talk to that I consider to be people who have good taste or people who like know things, who are paying attention to interesting places in the world. I'm surprised at how little people know about it or that I've never even heard of it.
Totally.
Which is crazy because I'm so in the sauce. I'm reading about it. I'm following all the things. And so I know that I'm in like a bubble about it maybe, but I just feel like I kind of thought like the word was out about Marfa. And I think it is in a lot of ways, but my point is that's how small this place is. That's how inconvenient it is. That the word is still not completely out.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that too has to do with the fact that the town it changes a lot. Like there's the restaurants and the coffee shops that we know and love. I don't think most of them were here 10 years ago. Yeah,
I'm reading a really fun book about Marfa right now. I wish there were more. It's a book about Marfa, the transformation of a West Texas town, and all the references in there do not exist anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that is like the spirit of Marfa, I think, is forever there, but the actual experience of it, I think, and there are a lot of people who move here for 2 years and then leave. It's like a lot of people will come from Austin, do this isolated thing, and then move back to the city or Houston or Dallas. And so for that reason, the town almost becomes transient in this way. And it kind of reminds me of like when you're like, when I was in high school, this was the cool spot to go. And it's like, well, during my time in Marfa, this was the cool spot to go.
Yeah.
It's like the town really becomes what the current residents make it. And I think that's so rare.
Love that. Okay, I have one more Marfa question for you. Before that, I want to know more about Opal Rugs. Tell me about the things you make. Like, I know we talked about the coasters, but you also make rugs. You make these big, beautiful rugs. You have runners. You have big rugs people put on walls.
Yeah. So I started making the rugs about 5 years ago. It was during the pandemic, and I just kind of threw everything else out. And I'd seen people using this handheld tufting machine online, and I was like, that is so crazy. It's just like drawing with yarn. Like, I want to try to do that, because the stuff I saw people making were like a rug of like a cutout strawberry or like the Blockbuster symbol. They were using it in just this weird way. And so I had an idea. I was like, well, why don't I just take my drawings and like start transferring them into this machine and make rugs with them. And so I started making rugs. Last year I had a show at the Wrong Store, which is in Marfa, and I had a show of 3 like area rugs. So they were each 5 by 5. So I do work really big, but I've found that those price points are not really accessible for my target customer, who I consider to be a woman like myself.
Sure.
I cannot afford an area rug. That's why I make them. But so then I started making these smaller things, coasters and like hot pads for the tabletop, and everything's wool. So it's actually like a really absorbent and heat-proof surface. It's great for tabletop items, which I like never even considered.
Cool.
And I made my first pillow last week.
Okay,
so
go on.
pillows are coming.
Oh, the pillows. So they're not in the website right now.
No, they're
but
not.
they
there
will be
yet.
there.
They will be.
So
there.
you can sleep on.
You could sleep on.
Love
You
this.
could lounge on. It's like
Are we talking throw pillow, sleep pillow?
more of a throw pillow, I would say. Yeah.
Okay.
You can throw it as far as you want.
You can still sleep on a throw pillow.
Definitely.
We're
Boogie
not
Boogie
here.
has.
Yeah, we're not here to tell you where and what you can and can't sleep on.
Exactly.
I'll sleep on a stack of coasters.
You could.
I could.
We could make you a nice little lay.
Okay, great. Great. Of hearts and olives and mixed nuts, cherries.
Dots.
Love that.
We've got it all.
Okay, Alyse, one more thing before we go. Thank you for hanging out with me, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
So fun. This is a dream come true for me to spend this much time in Marfa and to get to know people here. I'm really grateful. Okay, give me your where are we at in 5 years? Or
in 5 years?
with Marfa specifically.
With Marfa specifically.
Yeah.
Am I still alive? Am I still a living artist?
Wait, let me see. Yes.
I might still be alive.
You're alive and you're thriving.
Thriving in 5 years. Okay, in 5 years, I see Opal Rugs. I love this studio in the Methodist Church, but I would love to have a place that has a storefront. Ooh. I would like to have some sort of sidewalk action for people who are coming through town that they can shop and peruse and come on in and get the full experience.
Yes.
I would like to. I don't even want to move. I love my house here. I want to be in the same house. I'm hoping that Boogie Boy has 5 more years, but if he doesn't, we're going to go to Grand Companions, which is the local shelter that we love.
Can I say the local shelter is crushing it? The signage, the meticulous copy on the signage.
Yes.
I shout out to y'all.
They're really good.
Yeah. It's a shock that there's even that many pets available to be adopted because they do so well. I mean, I feel like everyone here who wants a dog probably has 7 dogs.
Yeah.
Because
it's great too because they the coordinator lives here in Marfa, and if you tell him you're looking for a certain kind of dog, he texts you right when it comes in.
Incredible.
A couple were like, standard poodle. If that ever happens, it came true.
Wow.
They got their standard poodle.
Okay, so what about the town of Marfa? What do you see in its future? What's the next thing for Marfa? Anything that you're scared of? Anything that you're excited about? Give me some predictions.
Well, I think that one thing I will say that is similar to having lived in Santa Fe, a lot of people who have their second home here, they either do not rent it out or they rent it out as an Airbnb. And while we love to help the local economy with the tourism, the housing is a little scarce here. So I kind of hope that in 5 years we have a better system of, oh, you're out of town? Oh, well, I have someone who needs to rent this for half a year. I would like that situation to be a little bit better. We're so close to the border that it's a little insane with Border Patrol and stuff.
Right.
We don't want them. We want them all to go away. So I'm just hoping that the town of Marfa, we have a lot more inclusivity. I like participating in the career day at the high school to tell people about art. And I think it's going to be hitting a stride in 5 years. I really do. There's a lot of new businesses that have opened this past year, and I just want us all to be thriving.
Incredible. And a rising tide lifts all boats, girl.
Yeah.
We don't have to, because this business thrives doesn't mean this one's not thriving. We can all thrive.
Totally.
That mentality seems like it would be clutch here because there are a lot of artists. There are a lot of people doing
and it's
similar things.
My favorite place in town is the coffee shop in the morning, and then it turns into the wine bar at night. And I think that sort of coexisting, sharing of resources, I think that sort of thing is really what makes this town shine. It's rare to see that, and I want more of that. I want to be Opal by night, and who would I be by in the morning? I don't know.
Incredible. Alyse, thank you for hanging out, and congrats on all your success.
Thank you.
This is so fun. I'm having a blast here at Marfa. Check out opalrugs.com.
Yes.
We'll have all of your work on there, and we'll make sure to link to all this in the show notes. Next time you got to buy a big old rug, talk to our girl Alyse. Or if you need to buy some coasters, do that too.
They're the perfect Valentine's gift.
They are. Whether your Valentine is drinks water or beer or wine, or if
Or
they
anything.
or if they
Really.
even if it's not Valentine's Day, it's good for your Valentine.
Sometimes I put a little kibble on here for Boogie, and that's where he eats it from.
Shout out.